This is our historic Bales building. To some, it's just an old, dilapidated building that is underutilized and has little to no value to the community. A beautiful shell protecting a past that no longer exists. To others, it is a place where your dreams were made, a place where you learned, laughed, and loved, a place where you got into trouble and learned not to repeat such mistakes, a place where your memories live on vibrantly regardless of age or time past, a vestige of your childhood that will stand firm just off of our oval in a testament to all who have walked these hallowed halls.
So I have a lot of memories of here and a lot of friends, and not too many of us are left now. The class of 49, there's still a few of us. A lot of my family members never got to go to high school. They had to work. It was during the Depression and in those years in the 20s when the economy wasn't very good. But some of us did, and we got a wonderful education here. And I recall in my senior year, I suffered a serious accident. And I was out of school from November until mid-February. And those teachers worked with me extra hours and whatever it took so that I got up to speed so I could graduate with my class. And I thought that was great.
My uncle Frank Casarino, he was a milkman in Milford. I grew up being, from 7th grade on, delivering milk before school. And so we'd get up at 4:30, go up, load up at Hayward's, coming back. But the most important thing is after I'd go to Philbrick's restaurant, have breakfast with all the boys generally, and when we were done at the end of the route, or he would be delivering milk continually, he'd drop me off, drive the milk truck up in front of the door here, drop me off. And I was always proud, because I was working in the morning, making my $12 a week.
It's an icon of Milford. The proximity to downtown, to the Oval. The architecture is beautiful.
I had fun riding the fire escape that they had here. It's a big tubular fire escape, and you could take it from this floor right to the ground floor.
I was here for 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and had a lot of good friends here. Got into trouble, got pretty good grades. But the one thing I remember the most is this is where I was when we heard that Kennedy had been shot. So that's a memory that I'll never forget.
Part of what I recollect is the old slide, the fire slide that was here, the basketball games in the gym. I mean, there's so many, I don't have one specific, but the canteens every Friday night. So there were a lot of really fun moments.
Coming to Bales, my first thought is the huge sense of community and family. Through the teachers and the students, it was like coming home. It was a second home.
Oh, I think it means a lot to the community. It's a landmark. It was built in 1894 and has a lot of history. And I think it would be a shame if it wasn't utilized more than it is now and kept up, renovated so that you can use at least parts of the building, if not all of the building. But it has a lot of potential.
Well, it's history. When I come into Milford and I see Bales School, I'm home. It's a unique building. I would just hate to see it go, and I would love to see it renovated. Well, it has a wonderful gymnasium, which is good for sports, basketball, and I see that you still have the stage. There could be productions here. It's just, why let it just sit here and die? Make use of it. I hear that they want to bring in kindergartners for art and music, and it sounds like a good idea to me.
The structure itself is unbelievable. You know, the granite sills, everything here. It should, for generations, it has been a place you knew where it was. It was a landmark over at the Bales School, you know, so you really knew and understood where to meet somebody if you did, and for the town to let anything like this go would be a disaster, I think. It's in the DNA of Milford, you know, and we need to make sure that those things aren't lost. It's really important for all these generations and for future generations and their kids.
I certainly feel it's really a bridge from the past to the 21st century to the present. I think it still has a huge amount of potential, not only with the SAU coming here, if there's a need for some classes here, it's part of the fabric of our community.
Regardless of your stance, the Bales building is underutilized and has a tremendous amount of deferred maintenance, rendering it difficult to use in its current condition. The Milford School District has developed a warrant article for a 6-year bond in the amount of $2,728,500 to renovate the Bales building. Renovation will include complete asbestos removal, creating classroom space in the well-lit lower level underneath the gymnasium, and office space throughout the first and second floors. It is important to remember that the lower level has been both classroom space and a cafeteria throughout the history of Bales.
Engaging in this renovation project allows the district to resolve 4 issues that we've been challenged by for the last few years. First, the newly created classroom spaces on the lower level will be used as unified art spaces for our primary grade students. Art, music, library, and gym classes for our kindergarten and first grade students at Jocks Memorial School will take place at Bales. This will free up much needed space at our early elementary school.
Second, we'll use the newly vacated spaces freed up by art, music, and library at Jocks Memorial School to house our preschool. As you might recall, preschool moved to Heron Pond 3 years ago as a temporary solution to the overcrowding at Jocks. By bringing the pre-K program back to Jocks, students will be able to learn with their peers in a similar age range, and will meet our third goal of freeing up some much needed space for the larger class sizes that exist at Heron Pond. And finally, by completing the renovation at Bales, we can free up room at Milford High School so that Project Drive, our alternative high school program, can exist where the current SAU is. This will allow students in Project Drive to remain in their high school, yet still receive the individualized supports and services they need to be successful. This one move alone is estimated to save the district approximately $70,000 per year in transportation costs, as a bus will no longer be necessary to shuttle students between the high school and Bales throughout the day.
The Bales building is a treasure to the town of Milford, our community, and our students. Now is the time to make Bales a priority. It is time to renovate this space and resolve outstanding issues that our schools are facing. It is time to bring our beloved past in line with our present and use our resources to guide us toward our future. A future that is bright, a future full of hope, and a future focused on our kids and their potential.